2012-0315, a resolution to reaffirm Mr. Neal Clulee as the designated appointee to New Orleans Aviation Board representing St. Charles Parish. Mr. Faucheux.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I've received phone calls from 3 of the Orleans Parish councilmen, President Stacy Head, Susan Guidry, and Mr. Charbonnet. They cannot move forward with this due to the first vote. As when we take up an item, if it ties or fails or whatever, we cannot readdress it unless it's reintroduced. So I've been asked by Ms. Head to reaffirm Mr. Clulee and send something back to them so that they can readdress it. So what I've done is prepared the same resolution, which we will have to take up as a business item and approve or not approve, and forward that to Orleans Parish Council so that they can retake this up again. If you'd like, I will reread it.
I don't think that's necessary. Okay. Do we have any discussion on this? All right, seeing none. Mr. Hogan.
Yeah, once again, my concern is, I never had any input on the selection of the nominee to be placed on the resolution, nor did anyone on this council other than a councilman that was on the last council that is no longer serving here. Without knowing that this is the best applicant to represent St. Charles Parish, knowing that there's other applicants out there without the council having vetted them, I can't support this.
All right, thank you, Mr. Hogan. Any other council discussion?
Yeah, I have one thing.
Please, Mr. Faucheux.
I hear these accusations, and at the Orleans Parish meeting, it was stated that it was not a consensus candidate. Mr. Hogan, you submitted 2 names that did not come up for vote because someone was voted on. You cannot sit here and say that you did not have input. And Mr. St. Pierre, for Mr. Landrieu's representative to stand up there and state that you have politicked against this council's decision. And I asked you specifically, had you been involved in this in a meeting in your office, and you said you had not, but had some issues personally with the candidate. None.
So I have no issues with Mr. Clulee. He just asked me what my opinion of was not told him. That's my personal opinion.
Well, this may be a resolution, but this resolution is backed by ordinance. The decision process has been defined by ordinance and a contract between St. Charles, Orleans, the Orleans Aviation Board, the Kenner Mayor, and Orleans Mayor. This is not just an appointment and just a resolution as we do to as we appoint some of our appointees. This is backed by law, it is backed by contractual agreement, and it has been defined as a good contract by the Attorney General's office.
Who was influenced by some key members from St. Charles Parish. The Attorney
General's office was influenced? How was that?
Well, I don't want to go into detail.
The Attorney General stated 3 issues why this is a good contract. 1, consideration was given by both sides. St. Charles gave up property to allow Orleans to expand into St. Charles Parish. So consideration was given by both. The mayor entered into a contractual agreement, which by himself as an entity may not be legal. But on 5 separate occasions, the council reinforced or gave him permission to enter into that agreement. And the last is that this has been done for almost 30 years without change, without any misrepresentation of the ordinances or the agreement.
Well, the mayor's position is that the contract is null and void.
Okay? I'm not interested in the mayor's position.
Well,
what I'm interested in is why are you politicking against it?
Well, politicking, I think Paul's statement is right. I mean, usually when I got to confirm, get y'all to confirm one of my directors, they got to fill out an application. They come in to interview everybody. I mean, Marcus made the decision right off the top of his head. Nobody had any other input. Mr. Cooley has our sludge hauling contract. He's on the planning and zoning board. I mean, What's unfair about that? I ain't got no problem with that. The problem is, that is the most important board of the city of New Orleans. That's the economic engine that drives the city of New Orleans. In my opinion, do I want Mr. Clulee to be the representative on it? That is my opinion. I don't. The city council voted last time. It was a tie vote. I don't know why you want to bring it up again.
I'm done.
All right, no other discussion? Please cast your votes. Please cast your votes. One more vote pending. All right, that passes. 6 yeas, 2 nays, and Ms. Fletcher's left the building. Okay,